Fashion Cafe. Today I'm sipping on tomato juice and it's my favorite thing in the world. I made a face like I hate it or something, but tomato juice is actually very sentimental to me because it was kind of like the way my dad and I used to bond when I was a little girl. He'd always come from work and bring a huge 3-liter bottle of tomato juice, so we'd always drink it. Anyway, today's video is not about tomato juice, by the way. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so I feel like I have to update you on things. Let me know if you would like a live update video in the comments below. But for today's video, I asked you guys on Twitter what you wanted to see and what you were, wanting to see more in these fashion cafes, and you guys suggested a lot of really good things, and one of them is right here, is to do a video on how to choose your career path or what to study. And actually I get so many emails to my personal inbox of people asking suggestions and advice on how to pick your career and telling me about your overprotective parents, telling you what to choose and what to do. So this video is something you can maybe show your mom that's not letting you go to pick out what major you want or pick out the career you want. I kind of want to make this video to help out from girl to girl, homie to homie. This is my story and this is how I came to the point of where I am today. I didn't know really what I wanted to do, but I've always been a very, very artistic and crafty and creative person. Even though I was really good at subjects like English or languages in general or even business, for me, I would always just sit at home and craft things, and I would always buy really inexpensive clothes and kind of transform them and make them look really good. So when it came to the point of me graduating high school and I applied to a bunch of American colleges, a lot of you probably already know the story, kind of how I came to the United States and all of that stuff. But when I started applying to colleges, my mom gave me an ultimatum, and her ultimate dream for my life was for me to become a doctor. And if you know anything about Russian parents, Eastern European parents, they're very much so like Asian parents, where they think that if you're not going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a business major, an accountant or something along those lines, your life is pretty much a waste of time and a waste of space on this planet. Considering the fact that I couldn't even look at blood, or when I would get my, blood drawn, or I would go to the doctor, I get so weak, I want to faint, or anytime there'd be on TV any kind of, scene where there's something involved that's medical or blood or horror movie, I get very sick. So that didn't stop my mom to continuously pressure me and tell me that I should be a doctor. And not only that, she really wanted me to be a doctor or some kind of really successful, whatever sounds good, diplomat or lawyer or whatever that would make mama really proud, which I get it. Mom wants the best for her children. But I was always a very creative person. I couldn't survive a day reading through papers, sitting at an office, at a desk job, unless I'm doing something that's really feeding my right side of the brain. So going back to when I was applying to colleges and all that stuff, the ultimatum that my mom gave me, first of all, she did not want me to come to America to study. For those of you who are new to this channel, I moved to America right after high school. I got accepted into a university, I got a really good scholarship, so that's how I moved to America. And my mom, and I'm an only child, so my mom was really, really worried about that. She's like, I'm like the apple of her eye, the most important little human on earth, which is, it is what it is to most parents, but my mom's way over the top with that kind of stuff. So she was really against me coming here, but at some point I got to convince her that I might come here, except one rule. I could only choose law, political science, and something business related. So I was like, okay mom, alright. I chose political science, which, let me just describe my first semester of political science. And this is for the parents that are watching this video. Your child is going to feel like the dumbest human being on earth sitting in class amongst people that are actually gifted in the area that they're not. They're literally sitting in the wrong place at the wrong time, not knowing what to do. We would discuss all the political issues in America, which, mind you, politics and the government system and history are completely different. I came to America knowing, who George Washington was, or, just very basic things, kind of like the presidential system, the democratic system. I probably sound stupid as I'm speaking right now because I still don't really know that much about it. I came to be a political science major, so I'm sitting in class and probably one of the two girls in class, and all of these guys, you know, with like their side parts and sleeked hair and suits and like talking about all these issues. And it was the year of 2008 when Obama got elected for the first time. So it was a huge year in politics. Everybody was talking about it, and we had so many debates in class and so many things. And I just remember sitting there. And mind you, I'm not a stupid person. I almost always have something to say on different matters, different issues. I just remember sitting in class thinking, I literally have nothing to add. I literally have nothing to say, mainly because I have no interest in this. You can force me to be interested in politics, you can force me to be, of course it's important to be a well-rounded person and to know a little bit of everything so you can, you know, carry yourself in an intelligent conversation, but on that kind of depth level, I had no interest. So I would literally come to class and just be so bored out of my mind and so embarrassed that I never had anything, you know, valuable to add to the conversation. I switched my major, and I still did not switch to what I wanted to do. I switched to interior design, which I was thinking, okay, I've always wanted to do fashion, and I've always been good at it. I've always been at least somewhat, you know, crafty and creative with it in the way that I would like construct my outfits, and the way that I would always research and read magazines, and I would always just kind of try to stay on top of it. So I've always been into fashion, and then it comes to the point I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna switch something else. My mom was all the way across the ocean. She can't take my hand and not let me switch my majors in the dean's office, so I'm gonna just do it. I know she's gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna just do it. So again, I'm thinking about my mom. You know, in Moldova, the extent of working in fashion is sewing in a factory as a worker, so there's not much of a fashion industry, if you know what I'm saying. Actually, we have the Dolce Gabbana factory in Moldova where they sew all the stuff, so it's like, if I wanted to do fashion, it's like she's not really educated in the issue of how this could actually be an incredible career somewhere else. So I switched my majors, I joined the class. I was so happy with myself, even though it still wasn't quite the perfect match for me, but I just remember going to school was a joy. Working on, sometimes certain projects would take 45, 50 hours a week of just drafting nonstop in a studio, and those of you who are in architecture or design know what that means. And I would still be so happy. I felt like, and I was good at it. I got really good at it. I really mastered my drawings, not mastered. I perfected my drawing skills. I was always kind of the top of the class. I always stood out with my work because I was doing something that I knew I was good at. I was in the right place at the right time, and I knew that because of my portfolio, because of the kind of work that I was doing, I would have a good career ahead of me. So I started making these videos for fun because even though I was good in school, I was enjoying doing everything that I was doing, I still felt like I wasn't quite really in the place where I would flourish the most. So I started doing YouTube videos, I started playing with clothes, which was really scary for me because for me it's like, okay, well, I have like 3 jeans in my wardrobe and 4 sweatshirts and shirts. Like, I can't really teach people how to style, like I don't really have that much. But for me, it was just like a really big step of faith to grow and to expand in something that I knew I loved, and if only I would put enough work and enough dedication, I would become good at it. So fast forward a couple years now, I am living my dream and I'm doing what I love. And have I only listened to my mom and been in political science? Quite possibly, maybe, you know, by junior year in college, I would have been sitting in class and giving really good arguments, and I would have read multiple political science books, and I would have probably gotten good at that, but I would just always wonder and feel so robbed of doing something that I was meant to do. And this is the #1 advice for this video: how to find out what you want to do. And don't tell me you don't have any talents, because everyone is good at something. Everyone has a talent. Everyone is constructed in a very unique, beautiful way that can bring something incredible into this world. So I would be a terrible doctor. Yes, it would sound good on paper. I would be a horrible doctor. I would be a horrible chemist. I would be a horrible lawyer. I would just be like, I can bring joy, I can bring inspiration, I can bring confidence into people's lives through what I'm doing right now because I am in the right spot. And it's so important to just look at yourself, be like, okay, what am I good at? I've always been really, really good at, winning arguments in class. So that means I should probably check out, not everyone's meant for a creative career, so maybe I should check out a law degree or something where I'm really good at thinking on the spot and problem solving, and I have really good memorization skills. So yeah, figure out what your talent is, figure out what you're good at, and through that you're going to be able to bring the most of your potential into the world and kind of, I feel like such a motivational speaker right now, and really fulfill what you're meant to do. And I think it's so simple and it's so easy, and for parents it's so important just to have a little bit of faith in their child, and it's almost like imposing a career that they're always going to feel like they missed out in life. It's a very big burden to put on your child. It's a very big, I understand the parents always want the best, but the best is letting your child do what they're best at. It's so crazy to me that children at 18 or 17 or even 16, whenever Americans or people go to college, are forced into making the biggest decision of their life, one of the biggest ones, ultimately choosing their career path in that year. You don't have to pick your career right away. You don't have to pick your major. And also, it doesn't necessarily mean that what you go to college for is going to determine your entire life. So another advice is to just take a year. If you're not sure at all, don't pick something that you're, just kind of to pick something. Take a year, take a bunch of classes. Maybe you don't even have to go to college your first year out of high school. Take a trip around the world if you can. Take a trip to the village. Take a trip somewhere. Grow yourself as a person until you're ready to make that kind of decision, that kind of commitment. Because it's just crazy to be thrown at such a young age into making such a huge life decision. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck, and I really hope that you make the best decision for you, and that your parents are supportive, or the people in your life are supportive. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out my links like Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you in my next video. I love you so much. Bye!
Please forget